Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Today is one of my favorite topics. We are going to talk about death and dying. And is that the end, or is that the beginning of something more beautiful and more important than just life? So I am going to try to share my view on it and my knowledge that I gained so far from the books that I'm reading and ancient scripts. So as I normally do, I will compare the science view on death, and I will quote some of the Bible view on the topic, and we'll see what we can learn from it. So let's see. I'm gonna quote a few sites, one of the medical dictionary and Wikipedia as well. Sometimes you can find interesting things and very simple things and explanations. So I use both for that reason. So let's see what's the scientific view on death. Death is the end of life of a person or an organism. I don't know, but it seems to me that this explanation gives us nothing. We gain nothing in depth what death means. Let's read more. The permanent ending of natural process in a cells or tissue, or the permanent cessation of all biological functions that sustain a living organism. The reasons for death: aging, predation, malnutrition, disease, suicide, homicide, dehydration, and trauma. So those are aspects that our science would sort of identify in the process of someone's dying. What really intrigued me and brought interest to this part of explanation what death is that no one mentioned that some kind of life or source of energy leaves body, and this is a part of dying. So it's strange to me that scientists did not sort of include this in explanation that person has no ability or energy to function anymore. I think that would be interesting if they could include that, because obviously we can all see that the energy, the life energy is gone, and it's obvious even for scientists. I think for that reason they should mention something like that. Also very interesting that no one mentioned that body decomposition. So when our body dies, we think that's it. However, the new program kicks in after the life energy leaves the body. The new program within body kicks in, and we start decomposing ourselves. So this is a program that takes months to finish, and the purpose of it is to break down our tissues into chemical elements and separate them from each other and combine them with the minerals of the planet. So technically what Bible says, you are dust, and dust you will become. So that exactly means that the program will kick in and body will work hard to separate the tissues. And I think this also need to be included in a process of dying as a next level, next step, because body itself working really hard for a month to sort of dissolve it in here. And it's quite interesting that no one knows who turns this program on, and no one knows how our body knows the steps of how to finish, how to take body apart. And I think it's quite interesting, and I think scientists maybe need to spend more time into reviewing the definition of death and the whole entire processes of it. Not just like person gets sick and the health is declining and then person dies, but from that aspect to the one that the body is no longer visible, that's also, I think, sort of wider sort of process of dying. Let's see further. I wanted to quote a few things. So those quotes are from the websites, and again, I didn't, and when I was going to school and studying nursing program, also that was a definition of death. So when the body stops functioning as it should. Let's read the Bible. So today I quote Ecclesiast chapter 3 and 9, and let's see, some of it I'm going to read from the Bible, some of it I have to read it from my tablet because the Bible text is so tiny that even my eyeglasses not helping, so it's hard for me to read. So here it is. Verse 18 to 21, chapter 3. I also said to myself, as for humans, God tests them so they may see that they are like the animals. Surely the fate of human beings is like the of the animals. The same fate awaits them both. As one dies, so dies the other. All have the same breath. Humans have no advantage over animals. Everything is meaningless. All goes to the same place. All comes from dust, and to dust all returns. Who knows if the human spirit rises upwards, and if the spirit of the animal goes down into the earth? So yes, so it tells us that we are all gonna die regardless, and our body will be no more, and what our brain possess as a life experience and the knowledge that we gain here on this planet and this time around will kind of vanish. I don't know if I can agree with that, and I think even if body would not remember, but that if you wish the memory chip of some sort that soul possess will be saved, because when you continue with the next reincarnation, your next reincarnation will be based on your actions in the previous life. So I think it's just not full explanation to what's going on. And another one is in chapter 9, 4-6. So I'm going to read it from the Bible. Let's try. For to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. For the living knows that they shall die, but the dead know not anything. Neither have they any more rewards, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished. Neither have they any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun. So again, it's just tells us that whatever we do on a planet is only matter while we are here, And I don't know if I can agree to that, because it doesn't matter to the body that died, but it does matter to the soul that will go through the next spin and go through the next life, and whatever you do is gonna directly affect your next life and your next karma. So we need to consider this. And again, if we would live on this planet thinking that nothing's matter, it would destroy our morale, and nothing would stop us from gaining an easy way of the pleasures of the life. And we would not consider any other person nearby, and we would do a lot of harm here. But something inside, something that soul remember, stopping us from being cruel people, for being nasty to each other, from committing sin. We know that we should not do this. Even sometimes when we do, we know it's wrong. So what it tells me, that body may not remember, and it's okay, but your soul will carry that luggage through all the lives that you meant to be going through. And again, why Bible doesn't expand more, I have only two versions. Either those priests and leaders of the religious groups don't know themselves, or other version of it, I'm gonna assume here that they don't want to share their knowledge, with the purpose that you would have to come to them all the time, and they would control you. Because we know historically it was pretty scary to be separated from the church, because it's your salvation. You go there with the hope to survive, to be helped, to be directed. So if they would not share the true knowledge, I think it's either because they don't know themselves, or they don't want you to know. And I'm gonna leave it to you to go and figure out yourself what is that you know, and what is that you want to know, and what your organization offering for you, and if it's helpful or not. I learned to myself that I need to find the truth, and I decided the truth is my religion, and I decided I will not be connecting to any religion at all. I will just search for myself, because at this time of my life, I believe that you can do it on your own by connecting with your Creator, if you wish to call him this way, or God, if that's the term you sort of used to. And you don't need a third person to be telling you how to do that. Let's see what else I have for you. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that also with a soul and a body. I was talking to my friend a long time ago, and she told me, if I pinch you now, would you feel it? And I said yes. And she said, if I pinch someone who died, would that person feel anything? And I said no, because they're dead. And she said, so who is feeling that pinch, the body or your soul? And I got into thinking, she believed that it's souls that feels the pain. I believe that while we have soul in the body, can have feelings and experience. So one cannot survive without another. That's why the both are important. and what we see today is the focus on the physical body and not as much on your spiritual aspects, spiritual bodies, and they are as important, if not more important, than your physical body, because your physical body it's a costume, it's the wetsuit that you have to put on, that your soul needs to put on to dive deep to this level, to this bottom of the ocean where all the learning happening, but the soul needs a protection, literally physical protection, physical body, to be able to go through the lessons. So that's what I think, and that's why we need to consider both, not just one, and not just focus on the fixing the machine, fixing the body, because if you are sick, you not only sort of treating the symptoms, you need to treat the person, the soul, as well, and only then we can be successful in our sort of healing process, and it's important to know that. So, and I wanted to quote you something from the website that I found called Alphabet of Salvation, and there are quotes on this site from many different religions and religious groups. So one is really interesting, I wanted to read. So when you hear death of soul, don't think that soul die like body does. No, soul is immortal. Death of soul is a sin and eternal suffering. Like body dies when soul leaves it without its power, soul dies when the Holy Spirit leaves soul without its strength. So it's Johann Zlatoust. So it tells you that this man had some interesting knowledge, and what he's telling you here, that your body have a soul and your body have a spirit, and it's the Trimurti, if you wish. It's three different aspects. So soul and spirit, they're two different things, but they need to be in a body in order to experience our life. And while we are alive, we need to sort of wake up and expand our mind and be able to connect with the soul and be able to connect with the spirit that within us. And when we have those three activated, then we are doing the right thing, then we are living the right way, and then we are learning from life as it is, and we are gaining, and we are helping ourselves, and we are helping each other. The last aspect I wanted to share is the view of Hinduism on it, because it's fascinating and it's my favorite. And it's important because they possess the oldest knowledge, the oldest scripts, and the oldest documents that can shed some light on what's going on this planet, what's going on with us, and what's death and what's dying, and process of reincarnation is. So they look at soul, they call it Atman. So when you're here alive in the body, your main goal is pretty much to connect with your Atman, and as I said, to connect with your spirit, to the process of awakening and expanding your mind. This is the most important thing while you are here. And technically, this process is sort of divided in two stages. Sort of the first one is samsara, which is reincarnation, when you come into this life and you're going through the lessons, you're resolving your karma or making new karma connections. Then when you're done, you die, and the process of dying is just a stage in between, because then you're gonna, according to your karma connection, your next life, your next lessons will form, and when you come back here again, then you will have another chance to reduce your karma and reduce your to cut the notes of karma. And when you are done with them, done with reincarnation, when you minimize and get rid of your karma connection, your samsaras are ending, and you don't have to come back here anymore, because you're going to be functioning on a higher levels, maybe on a different planets, but not here on this planet. You are going up, and your job and your knowledge and who you are will be used in a different way. It's almost like promotion at work. You are stepping up, so you don't have to be here anymore, because you are self-aware, you are self-conscious, you work here for the benefit of the humanity, and you're done your job. So you are moving up to a different level. You are going to be a part of the cosmic sort of community who are creating the whole cosmos, and your job will be slightly different. I'm not sure what it is, I'm still learning, but this is what I learned so far. And again, the second part is called moksha. Moksha is the sort of a process of being connected to your creator. You are in paradise, you are in that state that you are connected, you are one with your creator, you are one with your God, and you are awake and self-aware, and you are it. You know who you are. You know that you are part of that bigger sort of aspect of life, and you know what you need to do. You know that nothing that was important right here, right now, here is matter in a big picture, as long as you are working for the purpose of making humanity better, helping people, and educating those who are still sleeping, those who's not sort of developed spiritually and have no idea what they're doing. So they will need your help, they will need your guidance. And if you can see that people react the way they react because they are still sleeping, they're still unaware, and you, instead of react and be angry or irritable, so offer the help, offer the hand, and help them to get developed spiritually, so they can start the process of awakening. Then you're doing good, then you're resolving your karma, and then you're helping yourself and helping people around you. So on that note, I'm gonna say goodbye, and I'm gonna wish you a wonderful day, and I'm gonna wish you fast awakening, fast sort of self-realization, and I wish you to connect with the higher spirit that we are all need to connect. I wish you to gain that knowledge, and hopefully we can do this together, and we can raise our vibration, we can raise our sort of level of being here, even if we are in the bottom of the ocean, we can still vibrate on the higher frequencies. We can still create with our thoughts, positive thoughts. We can still help each other, and we can still improve, and we can still improve our life and improve life of others by realizing why we are here in this period of time and what we need to do in this period of time and this particular life. And by knowing that action of this life influence our future life, we can improve our future life as well as this one. So all the best to you. I love you all, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.